Hello, good morning and Assalamu alaikum to all of my grade 3 students. I'm your teacher Sana Kausar over here again with the lecture number 11 for all of you, and the topic of the lecture is the same one, that is a word problems. Okay, so let's have a look. First of all, tell me, this is the word that I used for all of my grade 3 tigers, that hello tigers, are you attentive? Are you responsible? Are you confident? So this is the advice that I give you, and at the same time I'm asking you all a question, that to attend the maths class you guys should behave like a very sensible person. Like you should be very attentive, you should be very responsible, confident, and this word, this big word, be independent. Yes, I would like my all the grade 3 students that you should be very much independent now. Don't rely on your mother to provide you the item or to help you to complete your task. This is a time, my students, that you should behave like a tiger. You should be strong and responsible and independent. So please stop behaving like a mama's kids and just asking your mom for everything. Just make sure that before going to start the lecture, you guys just put your workbook 3A along with you, along with the stationery, and then it will be just you and me. Yes, you will do your work independently, you will attend my lecture, and I am here to help you out, to provide you all your information regarding the topic, and I will give you a complete guideline even that how to do the work on the workbook. So you should behave like an independent person now. Don't rely on other, because I still have an idea that most of the kids are sometimes relying on their mother, that I'm tired, I don't want to do this, and this kind of situations that I can easily imagine that your parents are facing. So I just want you all my tigers to be independent. So that's the message of the day. I hope that you guys are will now start following my instructions. Just make sure that you have your all the important things along with you, and yes, then you will do your work of this math subject independently. So that's the basic idea of the day. Okay, so let's have a look. This is a review, as you can see on the screen, that this review is the word that we use to revise something. So you guys, I think, have an idea that what are the important things to solve the one-step word problem. Just read the word problem carefully. Carefully means you should read it again and again and understand. Then next step is understand the word problem, what the basic idea of the question. Then you are supposed to write down the number sentence and the working. And now in today's session we will solve the two steps word problem, and we will use the same strategy for it. Read carefully, understand, number sentences, and then you will solve it. And the last one is in the second step word problem. In the two-step word problem, what we do, use the answer for the second step. Yes, that's the basic idea of the two steps word problem, in which the answer of A part we will use in the part B as well. So this is the review of the word problem, which you will again understand it well when you will solve the questions. So let's have a look. Let's have a look for the example. Yes, this is the example of the one-step word problem. Okay, for example, they said that a boy is 8 kg heavier than a girl, and they're asking you, is it possible to find out how heavy each child is, or how much he is heavier than a girl? And when you will look at the picture, the boy weight is 28 kg and the girl weight is 20 kg. So when we what we used to do when we find the difference between the two things, do you remember what we used to do? Yes, what we do, we used to subtract both the values, and this is the number 8, which is giving you the difference, that the boy is 8 kg heavier than the girl. So this is a normal way of finding the difference between the two things. For example, I told you previously, if you compare your weight with your brother or if you compare your weight with your father, so what you're going to do, you will subtract both the weights and then you will get the answer that how much heavier your father is than you. So this is the example of one-step word problem, and let's have a look for the examples of two-steps word problem. Two-steps word problems are also not difficult at all. They are easy, but only one thing is different, that in two steps word problems you guys need to do two workings. Yes, you guys are going to write down the number sentence 2 times and you will do the working 2 times. So this is the basic idea of the two steps word problem. So I just write it precisely that total amount is given is that 100 rupees. And for example, you bought a pencil and colors. The pencil price is 20 and the colors price is 60. So they are asking you how much. First step that you need to solve is that how much is your bill, what is the total amount that you are going to pay. So in the first step, what you are going to do, you are going to add both the values, like 20 and 60 makes, what will be your answer? Okay, let me get my pen, and in the meanwhile you guys are just going to solve it. Okay, 20 and 60 makes 80. Yes, so you will write down 80 over here. This is your answer. And the second step, they ask you how much total amount will be left. So simply 100 minus 80, and then what will be the answer? Yes, tell me, what will be your answer? Your answer will be 20. This is a very simple example that I explained you, and inshallah tigers, the upcoming examples are also not difficult at all, and I'm sure that you guys will love to enjoy it. Okay, so let's have a look on our slides. So now my students, what you are going to do, take out your workbook, page number 38. Yes, take out this page in front of you, and as you guys are attending my lecture, and you will write it as well on your workbook page. So on this page of your workbook, no diagram is given. It's a total blank page. Only the question is written on the top. So first requirement is that you can even draw the lines for your convenience on this page, if it's easy for you. Otherwise, the next is that you will write just like me, but make sure your writing should be very neat, because if you mix up the statements and if you do the working on a wrong place, then the whole questions will be spoiled and it will not look understandable even. So as today my tigers are doing their work by themselves, so this is a time to surprise your mom or your parents and do this work by yourself, but in a very good handwriting. Okay, so let's have a look at the screen and read the question with me. Mr. Smith had rupees 4,000. Okay, he spent rupees 1,285 on a book, okay, and rupees 890 on a packet of cookies. Okay, he bought two things. The one is a book, so you can even underline this value, and a packet of cookies price is this, so you can underline this. It shows that you just understand the important points. And so how much money did Mr. Smith spend altogether? The first question is that, or how much money he spent. So altogether is the word that we used for mostly for addition. Yes, this is the word that give you a clue that how much money did he spend. So what you're going to do, you will write on your workbook all the words, all the numbers that I mentioned over here with the black. So it tells you, this black color shows you that you will write all those numbers and working over here on your workbook, which I mentioned over here with my black pointer or color. So first of all, you will write down solution. You will write down solution in your workbook and then start writing the data. Data is something that we always pick up from the question. So total amount means how much money he has. So you will say that total money. Total money is also fine for you if you like that word. I mentioned the word total amount. So you will write down total amount is equal to 4,000. This is the total money that Mr. Smith had. Next data I picked up, book price was 1,285. So I mentioned book price, I mentioned the number, and next thing that he bought is a packet of cookies. So I mentioned cookies price is 890. This is my data. Now you guys will mention A, and your question is altogether spent money. You means that how much money he spent, and altogether is the word that already tell you that what you are going to do in a first step. You are going to add both the values of book and cookies. This is just like the previous example that I solved, in which we add the money of pencil and color. So in the same way you are going to add. Yes, so now you will write down numbers and tens, and you will put the plus sign over here. Yes, so now when you mention your numbers and tens, so in the corner you will do your working. Okay, be careful about writing the numbers at the correct place. Don't put 8 over here, otherwise your question will totally wrong. So let's write it down, plus sign, and start it. 5 plus 0. So what will be our answer? Our answer will be 5. Yes. Okay, now you need to add 8 plus 9. So add it. You can simply keep the one number in your mind, like 8 in our mind and 9 in your finger. And what will be the answer? The answer will be 17. So you will write 7 over here, and 1 will be carry on. Yes. Okay, 8 in your mind, 2 in your finger. What will be our answer? Our answer will be 10, and when we add 1, so our answer is now 11. Yes, and now this one will also go as a carry on. 1 and 1 makes 2. Okay, that's the total number of amount that Mr. Smith spent. So write down the number over here, 2,175. Yes, that's the total amount. And then you will mention the ending statement, altogether spent money or amount, both words are fine. So you will write down 2,175. Okay, what you can do, you can at this point you can pause my video and you can write down this part on your workbook. And when I move to the next slide, so you will first watch my slide carefully, listen and understand all the instructions, and then you can move on to the next one. So this part is done. So I am going to the part B. Let's read the part B first. Its second step is, how much money did Mr. Smith have left? Okay, now they're asking you how much money left. This is just like that. The shopkeeper paid us the remaining amount according to our bill. So what we do in that case, we used to subtract it. So now you will write down part B in your workbook on the same page. There was no space on that slide, so that's why I used the new one. So you will write down left money, and what was the total amount? The total amount was 4,000. And for the left money, what we used to do? We used to subtract. And you guys will now write down the answer of the first slide, that was 2,175 over here, because this is your bill that the shopkeeper is going to deduct or subtract from your money. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you will subtract 4,000 and write down the number very carefully. That is, I'm starting it from the back side. 5, 7, 1, 2. Okay, now final check. Final check is that check your number. It's 2,175. It's 2,175. Okay, now it's a time to sing a subtraction song. More on the top? No. It's more on the floor? Yes. Go next door. Okay, our next door is empty. Its next door is also empty. So we are going to the fourth door to take a help. We will just cut this 4 and we will make it 3. When it give it 1, the next one also need a help. So we will cut the 10 and we will make it 9. Yes. Don't laugh on my writing. This is 9, okay? Now when it give it 1, this 0 also need a 1 number. So you will again cut it and you will make it 9. And yes, this is 10. Okay, now you can easily subtract because it's more on the top. So 10 minus 5, what is our answer? Our answer is 5. 9 minus 7, the answer is 2. 9 minus 1, the answer is 8. And 3 minus 2, the answer is 1. Yes, that's our answer. So you will write down your answer over here. 1827 is our answer. Yes, Mr. Smith had rupees 1825. Yes, that's the way. Okay, this is for all of you. Yes, the question number 1 is solved and now only 2 questions are left because in this lecture we are solving only 3 questions. So let's have a look. Yes, energy level right now. Okay, I'm a teacher over here and my energy level is full. I'm happy, I'm energetic, and I'm sure that all of you are also have full energy levels, because if your energy level starts going down, you will start behaving like this. Okay, so I'm sure that all of my students are very much happy and they are enjoying their maths lecture. Okay, now my students, take out your workbook, page number 39. Yes, page number 39 over here. I'm explaining you all, and let's read the question very carefully. A factory assembled 4,650 toys in April and 3,680 toys in May. Okay, they are talking about a toy factory which is assembling the toys in each month. This is the amount of toys that they assembled, or you can say that make in April. And these are the numbers of toys that they assembled in May. Okay, let's read the statement again. In June, the factory assembled 1,135 more toys than in May. Okay, let's read this line again because this is something that's bit you can say that a tricky one. This is a kind of something that's a tricky one. So let's read this line again. In June, the factory assembled 1,135 more toys than in May. It means, now you just translate this whole word problem into your mind, that in June the factory assembled more toys, and in which month as compared to? That is May. This is something that I translate in my mind, that June, and you guys will also translate it into your mind, that in June the factory assembled that much more toys as compared to the month of May. This is something that we have totally clear in our mind, that toys assembled in June are more. So let's read the first question. How many toys did the factory assemble in June? Okay, they just want us to tell them how much actually toys were assembled in June. So let's read the first statement and let's start solving it. You will write down solution. You will write down all those work which I mentioned over here with the black, or over here the working as well. So you will write down the data from here. Toys in April are 4,650. Toys in May are 3,680. And the last statement is important, that 1,135 more toys assembled in June. So you clear one thing in your mind, in June the toys were more assembled. So what you are going to do, you are going to add, because if you subtract it from the May, so your answer will go into the lower number, which is wrong, because toys are more assembled in June. So we want the bigger number for the month of June. So this is the thinking that will help you out to solve it. So after writing the number sentence, you will do this working over here and add it. 5 and 0 makes 5. Okay. 8 and 3 makes 11. So I will write 1 over here and 1 will be carry on. 6 and 1 makes 7 and then 8. Yes, you will write down 8 over here. No number is over here to give you for the carry on. And 3 and 1 makes 4. Yes. So that's the answer. The answer is 4,815. Okay, that's the answer that we find out. Okay, and now you will write down the statement that toys assembled in June are 4,000. You will write down the same number over here, 815. Now let's read the step number B. The step number 1 is solve. Part A is solve. So let's read the part B. Did the factory assemble more toys in April or June? Okay, they give you a comparison. You are going to tell them in which month they assembled more toys. So toys in June are 4,815, and look at the data. The toys assembled in April are 4,650. So which is the bigger number? The bigger number is this one, and it is the value of a month of June. So what you are going to do, you will write down part B and you will write down simple statement, toys assembled more in June. This is something that we quickly tell them by looking at the number, that this is 4,650 and this is 4,815. So this is basically a more value. Now read this just small value. How many more? Yes, now this requires a working. As I explained you in the previous example, when we find out how many more the weight of the two children, do you remember the example which I explained you previously? So what we do in it, when we find out how many more, we subtract in it. So you are going to subtract. Yes, and did you see that we are using the same answer over here? We are going to use the same answer over here, that is 4,815. Okay, over here there is a number problem. There is a bit, you can say that's 15, and I mentioned over here 2. So that's the answer. Okay, now what we are going to do, when we will subtract it, simply just I will make it 1 because this is a writing mistake. So this is a 1 number, just mention 1 over here. Now let's subtract it. 5 minus 0, the answer is 5. Okay. Can you subtract 1 out of 5? No, it's more on the floor. So we are going to next door. Yes. And we will make it into 11. 11 minus 5, the answer is 6. And 7 minus 6, the answer is 1. So what is our answer? And 4 minus 4? 4 minus 4 is 0, which we don't like to mention if the 0 is at the first place. So your answer is 1,165 only. You can say that 0,165, but we never use this kind of words. We just skip the first 0 and we mention the next number, but never skip the 0 at the ends. You can skip the zeros which are written at the first place, but you will never ever skip the 0 which is at the end place. So then you will write down the number statement, you will write down the word statement over here, and you will write down 165 more toys were assembled in June. This is the difference, that much toys were more assembled in June. So yes, our second word problem is also solved, and now let's have a look on our next word problem. Yes, this is the last word problem, so be happy. And this is also very interesting and easy one. You are going to solve it on your workbook directly, and I just try to make it as much precise as I can so you can enjoy your working and not get bored. So I'm sure that my students, my Tiger's energy levels is still high, and let's start the last page of the day. Okay, open your workbook, page number 40, and this is a question number 6. It's a very interesting. I mentioned this picture and it will also help you to understand it. Nora and Wimming each built a model of castle using a building bricks. Okay, there are two students which make a castle with the building bricks. Second statement is Nora used 5,318 bricks. Okay, this is the value of the Nora's brick. Okay, simple values given. Nora used that much bricks. She used 1,039 more bricks than Wimming. Okay, now this is something that you need to translate and understand into your mind. What you're going to do, you guys first need to understand that she used 1,039 more bricks than Wimming. It means Nora used more blocks and Wimming used less blocks. This is something that you need to translate into your mind, or I told you that you can even translate it into your mind into in Urdu as well. So once you translate it, okay, Nora used more bricks than Wimming. This is something that we have clarified in our mind. So now we can easily solve the questions. How many bricks did Wimming use? Okay, they ask you that how much blocks than Wimming use. Okay, Wimming is a name. Don't get confused. It's a name of a child. You will write down solution and you will write down Nora used bricks that are 5,318, and you will write down the next statement for yourself that Nora used 1,039 more bricks than Wimming. And your first solution that you need to sort out is that how much Wimming used the blocks. So what you're going to do, we are going to add or we are going to subtract. First of all, you guys just think and tell me. First of all, you guys just understand that Nora used more blocks. So if we add both the numbers, then our answer will go into the bigger value, and Wimming used more blocks than Nora, which is absolutely wrong. So what we are going to do, more the word is used over here, but after understanding the statement, we realize that we are going to subtract because they give us the value of the more child over here. So once you subtract it, you will get the correct answer. Okay, now go to the corner and you will write down this working for yourself. That is 5,318 minus 1,039. It's more on the top. It's more on the floor. So we are going to next door. Just subtract it, cut it, and we'll give it 1. 18 minus 9, the answer is 9. Okay, now you will write down 9 over here. My mouse is not cooperating at me right now. Okay, it's more on the top. No, it's more on the floor. So we are going to again next door. We just make it into 2 and we will turn it into 10. 10 minus 3, the answer is 7. Now more on the top, yes. 2 minus 0, the answer is 2. And 5 minus 1, the answer is 4. Okay, that's our answer. Our answer is 4,279. Yes. Oh my God. I need to use my eraser now because this is something that's really bad that I mentioned over here. So let me just erase it and get my pen again. Okay, because my mouse skip, I told you that my mouse is not cooperating with me. So you are going to write down the same value over here to tell them that this is the value of swimming blocks, that is 4279. Okay, let's read the next one. It's very easy. Find the total number of the bricks that they used. So they are total and all together is the same words which have the same meaning. So total is the word that we use to add both the bricks. This is the value of the Nora brick, so you will write it down over here. Then you will put the plus sign because total is something that you need to find out only by adding. So 4279. Okay, that's my value. Okay, I told you that this is something that's not cooperating with me. So just go into the working column and add it. That is 4279. You will add with the Nora's brick and your answer is now add it. So 8 plus 9, the answer is 17. So we will give 1 on the top. 7, 8, 9, our answer is 9. 3 and 2 makes 5, and 5 and 4 plus 9. Yes, so that's the answer of this last question that we solved out, that totally they use 9597 bricks to build this kind of a castle. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, now work is done, so you can just close your workbook and put it on a side, and just let's have a few journal discussion with you. That I just want to tell you that you guys should think that if you are not attentive for the class, then maths will be very much difficult for you and you will not be able to understand the concept. But if you are attentive, if you are a good listener and you really want to do it by yourself, so you will understand the concept and you can solve it like this. Yes, so I just want all the tigers to be like this, and I'm sure that you guys have done your work with me, and complete your work by yourself and give a surprise to your parents that now you are independent. That's all for the week. Okay, only 3 questions that I solved for this week. I just want you all to do one thing, that on the weekend you can do the practice of these word problems, because this is something that will really help you out when you will grow up. Okay, the last slide of the day, just for fun. Okay, I mentioned this slide because I like it. Find the hidden numbers. Okay, there are few numbers which are hidden in this picture. It's just for a fun activity. Find out the hidden number and enjoy. I just find out only 3. So I hope that might be some of my students can find out the more. So you can answer me and comment me in the Google class as well about the lecture. That's all for the week. Take care. Love you. Bye bye.